Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. It is I, DIGI Driver, saying hello to you on Memorial Day, Monday, May 29th, 2023. It's about 12 noon around my neck of the woods. Wishing you a very good day today. Some of you are probably already in Tuesday as we speak and barreling into the end of May, so hello. I am loading into Microsoft Flight Simulator because I want to do some scenery dev and I want to get some ambient sounds put up. Otherwise, I'd probably have to play some music. And these days, I'm trying to figure out what a good option for me is in terms of playing music. And since I just like working with sim noises and things like that, I usually just keep the sim running in the background, especially since I've figured out how to inject assets into the scenery once I'm done rendering them in Blender. But all that aside, I hope you're having a very good day today. I wanted to hop on quick to be able to do some dev before I spend some fam time later today. And I've also got somebody that I'm going to hang out with a little bit after the stream. So today's stream won't be very long, probably about an hour and a half at max. And we will render some signs, probably start working on one of the other buildings that are going to be included. Hello, Eric Flight. Good to see you, my friend. Um, Yeah, yeah, I apologize. I don't know. Is there a way to like almost completely and utterly disable ads? I think there's probably going to still be some ads, maybe initial bumpers, but I think I tried using the managed ad system, but it injects ads at particular points during the stream, which I kind of don't like anyway. Hawker125, hello my friend, welcome back. God bless you, and a good Memorial Day to you and to everyone here in the States commemorating or honoring the day. Thank you, Eric Flight. Thank you. So, I have the sim opened, but we're going to load into Plymouth and then we're going to go into Blender to start doing some scenery dev work. So, I just want the noises in the background. I really like that. I think, at least I like that more and more these days, since it's just a very simple solution for me. We will turn multiplayer off, just leave live traffic on, and it's about 12 noon. So let's load in. I have my gamepad plugged in case I want to move around real quickly, but it's not going to be an issue, I don't think. So we're going back to Plymouth, and I think we're going to render some of the signs around the terminal area, maybe some of the... Ooh, I know what I might try doing today. I put in a placeholder kind of like punchy thingy for getting into gate 3 at the airport. I might actually start working on the Blender render of the actual pieces that are supposed to go there instead. Ah, that's right. Yep, yep. I was chatting you up, Eric Flight. We were doing some stuff with, well, I was watching Hawker125 do some DCS practice, and then I talked a little bit about dev and how I was building an airport for you and for friends of the Virtual USA Flying Club. I'm really serious, by the way. I'm not joking when I say when the airport gets released, the Virtual USA Flying Club members are going to get an exclusive discount. So of course, I want to finish the airport first before we can talk about that, but just putting it out there. So, do I want to load the airport or do I want to just keep things the way they are? I wonder. I might keep stuff this way here. I might. I'm sorry, what? Wait a minute. Um, who you? There's an actual airplane at PYM right now? The livery's off, I know, but this looks like a teeny Boeing 717. What is this? That's pretty dope. Let me increase my camera speed. I don't know. Could always be a malfunction or just incorrectly reported data. But that's neat. Probably a big Learjet, maybe a 60. Still, that's it's neat to see. That's like the second time that I've seen AI traffic at the airport. But let's go ahead and leave it like this for now and jump into Blender because now we're set to go. Of course, the volume in the sim is very loud. I don't know why. Hold on. I don't want to make it too quiet. I didn't I didn't realize that was an option, Eric Flight. I mean, you know, if you want to, go right ahead. I'm going to be you know what? You know what? I think that's not a bad idea. It's up to you, of course, always. I will, like I mentioned before when we talked yesterday, I will probably be reaching out to you. I'll probably be reaching out to you later this week. I think we're going to start getting a roadmap to pre-alpha testing, like you said, in the next couple of weeks. But don't be surprised if I reach out to you sometime between this Friday and next Monday to start doing some soft testing of the airport surfaces, general taxi, stuff like that. So you'll probably be hearing from me in the not too distant future. But oh, there we go. There we go. So things will hopefully line up for that. Let me get my Discord stuff loaded. I want to find your pictures. And we're going to go to... Where are we going to go to? What do I want to see? I'm taking a look through your pictures right now. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? I think I know what I want to do, and I'm going to get started right now. We are going to redo the swipe and the call, I guess you could call it call-in boxes that exist at entrance 3. I have your picture from your drive of the punch-in board to call for entry. So I'm going to go ahead and render that right now. Assuming that that call-in board goes pretty much up to your window, I'm going to say it's probably about 4 feet high. Is that an over exaggeration? I think. I think. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right. So if it's 4 feet high, then we can start working on that immediately, and I can start thinking. Give me some throw some words out there. I think I need to find thesaurus definition of like call-in box because I want to see dimensions. Or we're just going to go ahead and, throw some numbers around, see what happens, pop it in the sim, and then however it looks is however it looks. Oh, I'm going to render the call box, the one with the numbers where you call for entry to like Yankee or Ryan Rotors or Airport Ops. So I'm building that right now. So we're going to start with height. I'm going to say this is going to be about 4 feet tall. Let me think. Does that make sense? Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to make it 4 feet tall. It's going to be small. And midway driver's side window in a Honda CRV. Honestly, I think four. Let's work with 4, and then if we have to punch up the height, I can always just make the stalk a little bit taller. So there we go. That works. 4 feet tall, and let me get some pictures. Drive up, call box dimensions. I just want to get my numbers about right. Go for images, call box, and what do we have? What do we have? Do we have numbers? Historic district call box. I see call boxes from overseas that actually have phones in them, but I don't care about that. Okay, it's taking a little too long, so I'm just going to extrapolate and we're going to see what happens. 1.22 meters for 4 feet, and then that's width. So based off your picture, I'm going to say it's probably about a foot and a half. No, let me think. Probably just over a foot wide. Stand by, guys. Just want to check something. All right, folks, I'm back. Yeah, 1.25 inches. That sounds about right. 1 foot, 1 foot, uh, 1 foot and 3 inches. Does it take it like that? I think it does. Yes, I think so. Okay, so we'll roll with that. And X is probably going to be relatively skinny, I would say. Probably about half a foot, maybe 3/4 of a foot at most. So I'm going to call it as 9 inches. And that is the box. That's not, I mean, this is, actually, you know what? No, if we're going to build a stalk, then I need to make this a lot skinnier. So the pole itself, I'm going to say it's going to be about 1/4 of the width and length of the box itself. So this was like 1 foot 3 inches. Let's say 14 or 15 inches divided by 3 is about 5. So 4 inch, 4 inch width and length square for the actual stalk that fits it. And it's about that tall to that height. Uh, it's like I'm just kind of there's a point at which I try to not overthink the issue anymore because I'm very capable of overthinking numbers and just going like, yeah, but if I render it this way, it's just like for me, and I tell myself, stop, go, render stuff, and fix stuff when you get to that point. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna prevent myself from overthinking about this because I don't want to do that. Let's take a look at it from the front and zoom in here. I want to bring this up just a touch. 8, 9. Ooh, that's pretty good. Great, that's fantastic. Okay, why am I messing around with the placement? Because if I place it at the origin, I'd need to lift it off the ground when I insert it. I probably will still have to, but this reduces the incidence of that happening in the sim as much. Well, I mean, it's like, wait, the call box is 5 inches from where it's supposed to be. Bad rating. It's okay. I try to strive for greatness, so, you know, I could probably take that comment and be like, okay, let's see if we can improve that a bit. But if I'm super busy, it might take me a long time to get to that point. So let's see. We'll call this call box support, and that's about 4 inches square and about. Oh, I said it's about 4 feet high. So let me just confirm that. 4 feet. Yeah, great. So we're gonna add another one. Big cube. There we go. And this one's the one that I need to watch out for. So 1 foot 3 inches. And this one is probably going to be, let's say, about 3/4 of a foot high. Bring this up. Heh, man, that would be awkward to drive up to. Look at the outcropping. And then we bring the X back in, and that's probably going to be about 3/4 of a foot at the widest point. So we'll do the same thing. 9 inches. It's probably like 6 or less, but you'll see what I mean. And we will crop this a bit further out. It can be a bit further up than it needs to be. And we will zoom in here just a touch because I want to get this placed. I like to recess my objects into each other for the very simple reason that it helps to avoid what I call Z-fighting, or what's that phrase? Whatever it is when textures get so close to each other that it's actually like making the texture shimmer. So here we are. Here's our call box. I'm not going to spend too much time adding a whole bunch of things. I'm going to make the textures be the surfaces. What I mean is I'm going to make the textures be, I'm going to make the surfaces flat. And I'm not going to worry too much about, like making things be three-dimensional. As long as I can actually get the textures to look semi-okay, we'll go with that. So what I need to do first is to probably bring this line closer to the support. So we can do this. And this is literally me just kind of like throwing ideas out there. Oh, you know what I need to do? Hold on, hold on. I need to think this through. I want to extrude this. Wait, do I want to extrude this in? I do. So E to extrude, push it in a bit and then stop. Okay, okay, better view. Extrude to about, I want to say about here. Even about here is good. So now we have that. And what I can probably do is get rid of this lip. And what that will do is that will, oh wait, did I get rid of that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of it on both sides. All right, delete faces. And now I have to move this back further. So much detail, DIGI. Yes, there's so much detail. All right, so I can try to merge these 2 points at last. There we go. and then take these 2 points and merge at last. Nope, no, no. Other way, actually. At first. Okay. Um, Interesting. I'm sorry I didn't switch back to the sim. I just had another live traffic aircraft do a touch and go at PYM just now, and it looked like a Boeing 737. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a 737, but it was still neat. That's weird. You want to know what? No, no, I don't know how to set that up just now. I might set up in the future, if I'm going to keep doing stuff like this, I might set up another view that I can switch to where you have Blender in the one window and MSFS in the other. I'm going to have to think about that this week, actually. That's a neat idea. Okay, so. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I can't forget. I got to get rid of this. Okay, there we go. I got rid of the outcropping face, but I did not get rid of the face above it. That's good. Air Amoric, my friend, thank you so much for stopping by. Really, really appreciate having you aboard. Folks, where are my manners? If you haven't already done so, please, please do me a favor. Go visit the following people on Twitch. Go visit Air Amoric, give him a follow. Go visit Eric Flight, and go visit Hawker125. These are folks that are friends of the channel, and I'm recommending their content if you like to see things like DCS, GA flying, or flying overseas, like in Europe, if for my American friends. By all means, please, please feel free to give them some patronage. They come highly recommended by me. You will not be disappointed. And Hawker, if you're still here, I believe you're still working towards a Hawker, an actual Hawker cockpit for flight simming, correct? Um, I would assume. But even if you're not, I had a great time hanging out with you. Okay, there we are. You still are. Um, uh, and friends, feel free to link to any special content you have. Like if you have a YouTube channel, drop a link in the chat and let them know. You just got an APU control panel. Nice. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to go to material preview mode, and I think I'm gonna paint this a default shade. I'm going to create a basic material for everything here, and I'm going to call this base base color. The base color is going to be pretty much like almost straight black. Ooh, ooh, Eric Flight, please, please drop a link or some deets about the charity flight that you're going to be doing in July in chat right now, folks. My friend Eric Flight is going to be doing a fundraiser coming up in July for funding for cancer research, and I'm sure he'd appreciate some support. So let me build the base color while Eric Flight does that. I mean, it's gonna be about as dark gets. I might weather it a bit, so it's probably gonna be like, I don't know, 0.8, 0.1, but that's pretty close to basically being dark and like weathered. But just this will be standard. It won't be super funky. Maybe 0.725 on the metallic color or the metallic sheen. And it'll, let's see, I don't want it to be super shiny, but it can't be, I don't want it to be super rough either. We'll play around with the rendering once we get it in the sim. Clear coat roughness will not exist. There's no clear coat for that. And that's a pretty good place to start. I am going to use backface culling so that any edges that are not visible will not be shown. Only thing I see some shimmering textures here, so I gotta do a little bit of surgery. Let's see which face I need to get rid of. Oh, there we go. That worked. I got rid of the exterior face. Okay, cannot get rid of that side. It's got to be this one. Oh, wait. Hold on. No, that's about right. Okay, so I'm gonna have to keep backface culling turned off because I need to see the inside of the actual polygon. There we go. There we go. DIGI Design and Just Flight are going to be sponsoring. Man. So there you go, folks. If you haven't already paid attention, please feel free to stay tuned to Eric Flight as maybe he does one or a few more streams coming up before the charity event. Okay, so now we have this rendered. I'm going to go ahead and save my work so far. And we're going to go to a new folder. And do I want to change the call box? You know what? I might keep the existing call box and make a new one. So let me see where the call box was. Security camera, office monitor, mug. I have a lot of stuff here. Hangar type, fuel station, signature, half cubicle. Why can't I find it? I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to find something really quickly. Where are we? Oh, I know what to do. Huh. I'm sorry. I can go straight to my hard drive and I can find the folder and just order them by date. I could also just take a look at the assets that I've pumped into my Plymouth project to begin with, and that should answer my question. Texture, welcome sign, security gate keypad. That's why I wasn't finding it before. Clunk, could have had a V8. Okay, so we're going to make a new security gate keypad because I think this is going to be more appropriate to this airport. All right. Eric Flight, if you're streaming later and I wrap up, I will probably stop by and pay a visit. So we're going to call this KPYM call in keypad as the folder. KPYM call in keypad. My folder is set. I'm going to save my work. There we go. We got it done. So step one is the base poly and setup. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually grab the textures. So this is when things happen pretty quickly. I am looking at a picture right now online. I'm going to grab a few things to start. And I'm going to grab the picture and I'm going to import it into paint.net. I need to create square textures because if I don't create square textures, the sim is going to complain. Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. Appreciate it. So I've got the picture. I'm going to copy the picture. I'm going to create a 1K texture, and then the picture will be stretched across the 1K texture, which will obviously stretch the picture, but there's a point to this. The sim only allows you to work with, I think, square textures, but they don't necessarily have to be 1K, 2K, 4K, 8K. They just need to be divisible by 4 in terms of size, I believe. As long as they're divisible by 4 in terms of size and they're a square texture, you should be fine. So we now have the texture prepped, and I'm going to go to my new KPYM colon keypad folder, and we're going to say, um, call pad top, and I'm not going to number it because there's not going to be more than one kind of colon pad. We're going to reuse probably the same colon pad if there's another entry point where you have to use it, which I don't think there is, but that's it. We've got a 32-bit texture, which is about 824 kilobytes in size, not a lot. And now we're going to go into Blender and we're going to add it. So I think I need to do two things. I need to select this face, split it in two, make it a certain height, like out to here, and then I'm going to extrude it out. Now, I think I did this incorrectly before, but I want to do this way. I can also get rid of the texture on top. We won't need it. And the texture on the bottom can stay put. The texture on the sides, though, that's going to have to go. Because otherwise the texture will be shimmering, and I don't want that. Okay, here we go. I can select this face, and I'm going to create a new material, which we're going to apply to this. We're going to say keypad or call in pad top. We're going to add an MSFS material to it. It's going to be a standard material. And we're going to go ahead and choose the texture that we created. And I should be able to assign it. There it is. And now I'm going to go to UV editing to actually fix how it's supposed to look. I could look at it this way, but I'm going to go ahead and fix my viewpoint so it looks better. And then we're going to go ahead and choose this side. And that didn't work either. That's okay. But you know what? I think it did work. I'm trying to, friend. I'm trying to make this be worthy of people's time. If you're going to pay for my scenery, I want you to be I want you to have at least, certain levels of detail to this. There's certain things that I could do, like I could seriously sit down and pore over the code and make it really do things like you can program it so that you can actually open the gates when you come up to them. But there's a certain amount of work that it takes to do that, and it's not something I'm capable of doing right this instant because I do IRL work as a software developer. If I did scenery development full time, then I could probably do things like, okay, animate this gate, animate this hangar, uh, uh, make the coffee cups, fill the coffee cups with coffee and make them steamy when you walk in the building. Um, like put put a room as like the control tower. I notice, I don't know if this airport is manned or unmanned in terms of tower. I'm not sure if it's a class Delta or class Echo airport. I didn't see a tower in the airport anywhere, so I'm assuming somewhere on the grounds um, somebody's watching, and there's either a CTAF frequency or something that will tell me. Okay, so that ain't perfect, but that'll do for right now. And I'm going to keep that way, and maybe I'll come back to doing some PBR textures for that this week. Maybe. I'll get back to you guys about it. How about that? So the only issue that I have with grabbing the texture for the bottom portion of the call box is that the shading is going to make it look like it's perpetually, shaded or in the afternoon. But to be honest, that's okay. That's a minor thing, incredibly minor. And people that are really, really good at working with textures can probably even fix that. I'm not there yet, but I can certainly see what I can do. We're going to do call pad bottom for the bottom texture. And it's about a megabyte in size. And now I can go ahead and add that to the sim. Not the sim, Blender, I'm sorry. So here we go. We're going to add a new material. We're going to call this column pad bottom. And we're going to add a different texture here. It's going to be an MSFS material. And we're going to add the texture that we just created, which is cell pad bottom. You won't see it there because you have to assign it. There it is. So here we go. There it is, but it's also rotated 180 degrees the wrong way. So R180, bam. Now, what we can do is grab the edges. Huh, good chunk of traffic for Boston today. Nice. And here I was wondering if I was going to hear any traffic today. Dope. So this is how I get around pictures that aren't like perfectly spot on in terms of angle and placement. You can trick the texture a little bit into thinking everything is where it's supposed to be. And there we go. It ain't perfect, but it will do. Now, do we want to apply PBR textures to this, or do we not care? I'm going to say, for the sake of today's stream, I'm not going to pour over working on material maps for this, but later this week, I might come back to this call box and I might actually try to add some PBR material effects to it, like making it look more metallic, making it bumpy, stuff like that. But for now, we're we're not looking too bad, folks. That ain't bad. A 1K texture on a call box that you can drive up to with a car. It's not too bad. And honestly, it's great for first placement just to see what it looks like in the sim. So we're going to call this, I'm going to save everything. And then we're going to, you know what? Hold on a moment. Let me see if I can do a better job color patching because it looks a little bit more metallic than it does dark. So let's take a look at the base color and see if we can adjust it slightly. The first thing we'll do is we'll add a little bit more gray. I think 1.5 is probably going to be pretty good. Metallic's already at 0.725 and I have a roughness map of 0.45, so I think we're good there too. We'll save it, and now I'm going to try to export it really quickly. So I am in the sim as we speak. I am going to try to see if I can do a hot placement. And the only problem with hot placements, and what I mean by hot placement is um, build a project, I'm sorry, build a 3D object, export it, and then dump it into the sim immediately and place it. The only problem with with hot placements is that when you do it, the other objects are probably going to disappear. And that's okay by me. It's just if you don't expect that, if you don't know, you're gonna be like, huh, what happened to the rest of my stuff? But it's there, but it won't show up until like you, I think, either reload the scenery or restart the sim. I think you just need to exit the scenery and come back, or exit the flight and come back. APYM call in keypad.xml. We're going to generate a GUID, and I need to move the textures that I've placed into position. All right, take those two textures, dump them into the texture folder, and Blender's not going to care about that. At least I don't think it will. Okay, there we go. We've got both things selected, but I am going to change this a little bit. We're going to say call box, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to Control S, and we're going to export it again. And now we need to redo all the things because I didn't save my export settings. Fortunately, most of it remained, and I don't know why it didn't save them. That's okay. Okay, we should be good now. Let's grab the call-in box and move it into the sim. So this is where it gets a little bit fun. I move it into the folder where I'm exporting my work, and oh, wait, if I'm going to do that, I need to... Does it matter? No, no. The sim's going to complain because there's some textures that are included that don't need to be there, some files that don't need to be there, but clearing the error bank should be fine. I'm cool. It's cool. That's fine. There's some files I need to get rid of. Blend in Blender, and the texture files can be moved out of the main folder and put into texture. So we're going to dump them into the texture folder right now, and now they're there. So I don't have to do an external build because I am working with the sim right now. So it's in there right now. So I'm going to show you what happens on a hot install. We make Blender go away, and now we load the scenery. So we're going to load the project, and when I load in, the view is going to change. The vehicular traffic at the airport is going to go away, and we are going to install the object that I just made. The scenery is loading as we speak, and it usually takes, I think, somewhere between 10 to 30 seconds for everything to load in. That's okay. There's a good chunk of wind right now. The rotor blades on the G2 are spinning quite freely. And there we go. In case you missed the last stream, I added more signs. Okay, so check this out. We have this sign, which has been my placeholder while Eric was getting me better shots of the call-in pad. So now we're going to get rid of the security gate keypad because we're going to use a better one. Unfortunately, I need to reload the scenery for this to go away. Sometimes you might notice it if you're working with scenery. Some objects don't disappear even after you remove them. I have no clue why that happens, but I'm going to roll with it. We're going to be adding this as a outside airport asset because it is outside the airport property. Well, the, uh, the secured airport property per se. And I should be able to save and build all. You're going to see some errors in the console which appears. That's fine. I'm going to clear them and rebuild again immediately. And as long as those errors go away on the second build, we know we did a good job. Oh, look at that. No errors at all. I guess they weren't there because I didn't have the project loaded. I was just in the sim. Well, that's good. That makes my job a little easier. I'm happy about that. And there's the column keypad. We added. Blam. So we have to rotate it slightly. And there we go. There is the call-in pad. And dare I say, it does look a lot more realistic. I like it. This is without PBR texturing. So there is no metallic map, there is no height map or roughness map. I might work on that a little bit later. I could probably add a material map for the base texturing that's on top of it. I might play around with that idea. I'm not worried about it right now. Let's go ahead and put it in place. I might also put a support on the bottom as well. This is a pretty quick placement, so I might actually fix that. Or when we start doing pre-alpha testing, which will hopefully be either the end of this week or the beginning of next week, we will start to see what we see. I'm going to put this very much adjacent to the other keypad. The keypad will go away the next time I load the scenery. And this is what you'd normally see here. Which, if I take a look at my actual photo, is pretty close to reality. It ain't that bad. It's probably a bit closer to the fence than it needs to be, but we can suss out those details when we actually place the objects or do quality assurance, which I'm hoping is going to happen in the month ahead. Okay, so that's one object. What else do I want to place? I can probably grab the sign, not the sign, the buzz-in pad. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to do something actually. Okay. This call-in pad is actually not that bad. It's pretty simple. So let me think. How can I fix this so this works nicely? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna make the actual badge pad about the same height. So I'm gonna reuse the support pole and maybe make it half size in terms of width and length. It'll still be square, but this one we're actually gonna bend. So, oh, I know what to do. We're gonna reuse the stock from the original security call-in pad. It it's nice when you can actually make it work, Hogger. It is nice. Let's go back to Blender and let's see if we can make the other badge. And then, unfortunately, I will be cutting the stream short once I'm done with that one. But I most likely will try to do a little bit more dev and see what I can do later on tonight. I appreciate everybody that's stopping in today. Hello to the bots as well. Hello to everybody that's lurking. In case you missed my intro at the beginning, I am DigiDriver and I am doing scenery development for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today I am working on some assets to place at Plymouth Municipal Airport, which I am creating for a friend of the stream, Eric Flight, and also for my growing list of potential future friends at at the Virtual USA Flying Club. But I'm going to load the security gate keypad project from before because I'm going to reuse part of that project to actually install the actual uh, swipe pad that you would use. So this is the project right now. Welcome back, friend. Welcome back. Let me do this. Let me reset the view. And this is the project that I had before. So I want to keep this the same way. I'm probably going to split the project into pieces. And I'm going to start by first changing the size of this. Okay. This could be an issue though, so I may have to change at least the transformation. This is low. Oh, that's normal. Transform it. There we go. Global transformation. And can I shrink it this way? No. There's a special transformation that happens with this that I do not know how to actually modify easily. Did we not add a modifier to this? I guess we didn't because I was having difficulty figuring out how to do it. So, okay, we'll do this by hand then. We'll do this by hand. We're going to start with a new project, and I'm not going to save changes. We're going to do the same thing as before. This might work to my favor because we're going to try to reuse the measurements from our first project, the actual column pad that we had. Oh, Eric Flight, in case you missed it. Ta-da! The old one on the right, the new one on the left. And I'm using textures from your photo. I may wind up playing around with PBR materials this week to make it look better, but there it is. I hope you like it. But there you go. Let's redo that stock and see what we can do to fix the problem. Looks a little wide, but good either way. Yeah, and we'll suss that stuff out when we start doing testing. But appreciate your feedback. 4 feet does not look that big for an object, but that's okay. Let me put this at a z coordinate of 2. That's too much. How about 1? Let's bring it down. Let's look at it from the side and bingo. Perfect. Okay, so the actual call-in pad itself is going to be way narrower, but we're going to work on the support first. We said about, I think, 4 inches for the support pole. And I'll work on that for now. This one's about 4 feet. I want to make the badge swipe the same height. So I'm going to allot an extra 6 inches to the top of this thing because we're going to want to bend this forward, create a curve, and it'll probably start just before the top and go just beyond it. So let me think. No, not that way. Instead of 4 feet, try 4 feet. I'm going to say 4 feet 6 inches and see what happens. That looks modest enough. Let's go ahead and extend this up a bit. If we zoom in, it's right about where I need it to be. Look at it from this angle. Yeah, I'm not terribly worried about it. If I can get it to be just about perfect, I'm happy. That'll be about as good as it gets, honestly. Okay, so good. And we will say badge support. And here we are. And okay, we've made it 4 feet 6 inches. And I think you can do things like applying a modifier to it. So let's try to do that. Let's see if we can deform it with a curve. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I do that, I need to actually add an empty point. Not volume. Empty arrows. Okay. Let's see what happens. So we have an empty and we have the polygon. There's a reason I want to add empty. I want to use empty as a reference point, I think. How did this work before? I did this once upon a time, but I forget how. I don't do it that often. So I can't pick the object? That's weird. Okay. All right. Stand by then. So I have the object. Let's add a separate empty point. No, not like that. I want a separate empty object. And now we have our empty. If I can do it this way, fine. I really hope I can. Modifier is disabled. Why is the modifier disabled? I don't know. I can promise you I'm not going to take a very long time to figure this out if it doesn't get me anywhere in the next minute. So I'm probably going to look at an old example. I'm going to save this and we're going to create a KPYM like badge folder. KPYM badge swipe. It's a bit of a misnomer, but badge pop is, I don't know, feels a little weird to me. So I'm going to create the folder. And we'll say KPYM badge swipe. Badge tap, but hey, judge away. All right, so we have that support. I want to go to a material that I've used before because, not a material, a project I've used before because I want to see what the transformation looked like. If I can find it. Blender object, experimental. I have signs. I was looking for old things that I did for Roanoke. Where's Roanoke? Not here. That's weird. Okay, whatever. We're gonna roll. We're gonna roll with it. I'm not gonna worry about this at all. I need to move forward. So we're going to. Could I? Wait. Couldn't I manipulate this a certain way? Let me find a video online. Let's see. Blender, bend, rectangle. Okay. Simple deform, bend, select the axis. And I have a bunch of stuff. Simple deform, bend, axis. Aha. Okay. First thing I need to do is to break this up into a whole bunch of lines. So we're going to do this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It looks like a lot, but we're going to add a modifier. Hope this works. Lord willing. Simple deform, bend, y-axis, and there we go. I think I understand now. Now let's get rid of the deform, and this is when we add the extra point. So add a empty point, and I think I can move this out just a bit. Or let's try the effect first with this polygon. Simple deform. We're going to bend. We're going to use the empty point. There we go. And let's see, Y. Aha. Okay, so can I move the empty point and cause it to change where the bend actually takes place? Not right now. Oh, also, I'm doing something that I shouldn't. I think I only want to bend the top parts of it. So I'll undo the bend, and I should probably be able to choose only the top parts. Like this. Let's see. All right. All right. Now, if I may, a simple deform of a bend on the y-axis using the empty as an origin. Oh, that's weird. I guess I'm gonna have to break those pieces off and apply the bend separately on that, because it doesn't want to let me do that just for that. I mean, that looks artsy. I like it, but at the same time, it's not what I want. So this is 4 feet 6 inches high. So around here would be about 2 feet 3 inches, somewhere around here. So yeah, I'm going to break this off into a separate object, and we're going to do P, separate by selection. Oh, excuse me. That's not what I want. Yeah, I only want that piece. I don't want the rest of it. And there should be a modifier applied. So try it again. P by selection. There we go. We're going to rename this badge support bend. And now I should be able to choose it. And I should be able to select all of it. And I should be able to just put a modifier on this piece. Simple deform, Y, empty. Whew. Wow, that's weird. No, that's because it's a twist. Of course. Simple deform, bend, empty, Y. Okay, so first thing we need to do, I guess, is... That's not going to work well, is it? Okay. Okay, so I need to go back. I know how to do this now, but I need to go back. We're getting rid of the empty point. Oh. I guess I got to keep what I have right now. I think I know what to do. I'm going to start over. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to get rid of the point now that I know how to add it. So we start over again, make a cube, 4 feet, 6 inches high, and 4 inches square for the actual support width and length. Put this at about what? 0.7? 0.68-ish. Bring it up just a touch. 0.685. That's good enough. And here we go. We've got that again. I think I'm going to have to break it up into... I'm going to have to render another one of these. So I think I'm going to make a copy of it. And we're going to say badge support. We're going to copy and paste and call this badge support bend. So badge support bend is going to be the one that we're actually going to bend. And I'm going to keep it on the, I think this is the y-axis, because we're going to use the y-axis for the bend. We're going to apply a modifier to it, which means I also need to add another empty point again. So there's our empty point. Here is the bend, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to add a simple deform bend using the empty points on the y-axis. And oh, of course it'll do that because I haven't broken it into pieces. Duh. All right, so do the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 20-ish. We can go a little bit deeper as well in terms of bend. Let's not go overboard. That should be enough points to make a solid bend. And now I can add the simple deform modifier to it, bend it, use the empty point, choose Y as the axis, and now we have a slightly better looking shape, which we're going to make a 90-degree bend. And we're going to, actually, you know what? We're going to make the bend, we're going to make the bend sharper. because if I get rid of as many points as I think I'm going to get rid of, I'm probably going to use this. Yeah, yeah. See, there we go. I am trying to come up with a way to make the bend sharp enough so it doesn't take a lot of space up. And that might be it. I'm going to combine this with the base so that it looks the part. And the call-in box has a pretty significant bend, but I'm not gonna worry about modeling it extremely close to reality. I just want it to be close enough to be recognizable. I might fix that if it becomes a problem, believe me. Can we do a 150-degree bend? We can. And I can use the axis line as a guide. All right, good. So that is good enough for right now. I am going to, wait, could I try 160? I could. That's pretty sharp. That's pretty sharp. I'm not gonna go too far past that. So here we are. That's it. We're done. I can go ahead and apply that bend. So is there a reason why it's not being applied? Oh, okay, because I was doing the edit mode and not the apply. Okay. Is it just me or is the bend just slightly past 90 degrees? I think it is. I wasn't paying attention to what face was going through. It's still a bit further up than I want it to be. That'll do. That'll do. We'll save this, and bam, we have a bend applied. And I don't think this needs to be as tall as it was before. So I can probably just make that 4 feet. Bring that down. And look at it from this angle. It's still not on the axis. Now it is. Just about there, that'll do. And because this is 4 feet, I think we can go on. Don't need the axis anymore, and I won't need about half of this. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to edit mode, and we are going to remove the half of this that we do not need to use. So anything below this point. So for starters, this, and then spin around and choose all these, and then spin around and choose all these. It's great that it lets you progressively choose quickly. And then I can get rid of all those faces. And now we have this, which is the leftover piece. So because this is probably another foot, I'm probably going to raise it and then take a piece of the tower off. Also, let me set the origin on the geometry. And yeah, if the pole's 4 feet, then we're flirting with 5 feet or higher. So somewhere around 3 feet will be where the bend starts. And then it's like you know, about to hear. So let's put that next to it. And I'm going to save this as revision 1 because I want to save my progress just in case there's a problem with me putting this together. Save pieces of your work so if you have to go back, you can. Now we can break this into pieces. So we've got about maybe 25 to go. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's good enough for right now. So that means the bend will happen somewhere just past the middle of it, which to me makes sense. So that's about right. If I bring it down, excuse me, if I bring this down a bit more, then that means the break will happen probably at or just above 4 feet, or just below 4 feet, which is fine, which is fine. That to me is acceptable. Let's go ahead and highlight all that and get rid of this stalk, which is not going to be necessary anymore. And that should do it. This top as well. Bam. So what I can probably do is combine this together and make it one piece again. Chill Maze, good morning, my friend. A privilege having you aboard. Folks, if you aren't already following Chill Maze and you like doing GA flying or like flying low and slow in Microsoft Flight Sim, feel free to give my friend Chill Maze a follow. I have watched him more than a few times when I'm doing scenery dev work and just chilling in the background, enjoying hearing him talk about, flying places or having adventures. Glad to have you aboard, friend. Yeah, seriously, if you're not following Chill Maze, go ahead and do that right now. I am putting some stuff together. I'm working on a badge swipe for badge tap for Plymouth. You'll see what I mean very shortly. So this is pretty good, pretty close. It's a little bit on it. So instead of being like, oh, I'll just put it there and pretend nobody sees the gap, I'm going to join the objects together and we're going to figure out where they're supposed to be. So we're going to take 0, 0 for the origin because that's exactly where this piece is. Oh, wait. Am I doing a local or global transformation? Hold on. Hold on. This is 0, 0 at 6. Hold on. Oh, the origin is at 0, 0. That's why. Okay, okay. I get it. Let's see. Is this close enough that placement is going to become a problem? And we can always see the metal bent a bit more. But no, no, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Let's go ahead and grab both objects, do an edit, batch support and batch support bend. I think we can do a join right now. And there we go. So now that I have everything joined together, what I'm going to do is take those points that are remaining on this joint right here. We're going to join them together so that they actually look the part. We're going to do merge, and we're going to merge it first, and then we're going to go all the way around this, and we're going to do the same thing on each side. I know it's not perfect, and there's probably an easier way to do this, but this is just how I'm doing it for the sake of the stream today. I've got like another maybe 12, 13 minutes. I should be able to actually wrap it up by the time I'm finished. I am going to be finishing up pretty soon. good. This works. And by the way, folks, seriously, thank you for stopping by today and for hanging out, even if you haven't been chatting, if you've just been lurking. Appreciate having you folks on board. We'll merge it first, and then the last point should be the last thing that we need to fix. Can I go? I can go slower, can I? Yes. I forgot I can hold down the Alt key. Okay. Can I zoom in? No. This is going to be a little tricky because I'm going to have to really pay attention to this. But what I can do is move one of these points up and then go hunting for the other one. I said then go hunting for the other one. Okay. So -1, 1. Remember those numbers. And then I move this one out of the way. And now I can put this one back to -1, 1. Really? There we go. That's why it didn't make sense. So -0508 and plus. Okay, I'm going to copy one of those values and use it because it's minus and plus on either side. I'm moving these points around because I want to actually see what points I'm merging. That's so weird. Oh, the Z value is what I forgot. 0.73. Got it. There we go. And now I can merge this last point into place. So now I can pick those 2 points, say merge at first, and now we have this entire object combined. Beautiful. So it's just a little over 4 feet, and if you're coming in a vehicle, or if you're coming in just on foot and you want to swipe in, then you can actually put the badge to the front of it. I need to actually create the piece that's actually going to be the badge part. The program that I'm in, it is Blender. Blender. This is an old version of Blender 2.83, which is no longer supported. So I actually have Blender 3.13 or 3.1, which I'm going to be transferring to after I finish my work at Plymouth. So now we have the entire thing set. And I need to do one more thing, which is basically add the cube, which is going to comprise the actual badge swiper. So we're going to add another cube. It's going to be humongous. It's okay. Bam. And I'm going to make this, let's see. How big is this? 4 inches, right? Okay. We'll make it about 5 inches. 5 inches square. We're going to rotate this, and we're going to make this maybe about 0.2 meters tall. Oh, it doesn't even need to be that tall. We'll rotate it 90 degrees, and we will bring it up. This is going to be what we need for the actual badge piece. So I'm making this extremely simple. 0.05. Good. All right, great. And did I get the placement correct? Yeah, it's right on the origin, so it's basically straddling the origin in terms of width, which is great because that works right with my my stuff. And this I'm going to recess slightly and lift up. Okay. And we can do this. And if I take a look at the dimensions again, that is good enough. All right. It's it's really basic, but it'll do. Okay, so for badge target. All right, we can save this as revision 2. I'm happy. Let's move quickly. I kind of like moving quickly. All right, can I do this in 8 minutes? I think I can. Let's go. All right. Now that we have the polygons in place, I'm going to add a base material, which is going to be um, badge base color. Pretty much like the other one, it's going to be, I want to say 0.14. And we'll go to materials now, and we will apply the same color to the support. Oh, that's weird. Did I miss something? No, I just wasn't selecting it. Duh. All right, good enough. And I'll probably try to make this be more correct, or I can just crib the color straight from the last security pad. Not you, the other one, the calling keypad. I am using a color of 0.153 for the V. 0.153. That'll do it. Oh, that's that was pretty close. 0.153. Bam. And that's the base color down. Great. And what we're going to do is we're going to add about 0.7 for metallic. And then we're going to do 0.55 for roughness, I want to say. Maybe even 0.5. 5 1/4, that's fine. No clear coat roughness, no clear coat. And we're going to then take this piece here and we're going to apply textures. Now, I got to do this relatively quickly, don't have a lot of time. Fortunately enough, this is a relatively easy thing to model. So I'm not going to spend too much time flexing the details. I can also make the face better, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. We'll take this and we'll go to paint.net and we are going to apply it to a 1K texture. So we're going to go ahead and paste it in, and we're going to need to manipulate the edges so that it looks correct, but part of the adventure. And what did I say? Did I say it was a batch swipe? Let's see, KPYM, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Look at Blender. KPYM batch swipe. So that's exactly what it is. There we are. We're going to save it as badge swipe front. And it's a roughly 660 kilobyte 32-bit texture, and then we're going to go ahead and apply it to the front. So to do that, I'm going to go to UV editing mode and I'm going to select it and put it in material preview, and then we're going to actually load the material. So we're going to add a new material to the base, and it's going to be called badge swipe front. We're going to add the actual texture under MSFS material params. It'll be a standard texture, and then we're going to actually pick the texture from the folder. You won't see it immediately because you have to assign it. And it should be visible. Oh, wow, that's weird. Try it again. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right, great. So I need to rotate it by 90 degrees. Oh, excuse me. Rotate it by 270 degrees. There we go. And I need to choose what is going to be shown on the texture. Excuse me. There we are. All right, so a very, very, very basic placement. I can probably enhance the texture some more. I'm sorry, not the texture, the actual object. This is a very, very, very crude first attempt. I just wanted to show you guys that it was possible to do. Eventually, I'm going to want to make this look a lot better. But this is basically the way it looks right now. So what I can probably do is take the same texture and apply it to a different side. And what can we do? Can we assign it? Yes, we can. And I don't need to actually go and pick different things. What I'm going to try to do now is take the metallic side and assign it to the side as a color. There's more that I can do. I can probably improve the sides. Even a slight addition of polygons is going to make this look so much better. But again, this is just a base idea to start. A base idea. And it's supremely crude, but like I said, it's a start. The only problem with this is that I'm not going to be able to do this with the other side. So at the risk of being a bit out of the way, I'm going to deselect this. Oh, that's right. I can't do that. Let me reselect the albedo texture for the front. I want to get rid of it here. I don't know how to. Oh, no, no, I gotta pick it. I gotta pick it. This is good because this is like a teachable moment for me. I need to. There we go. I need to assign the base color to that side. So we're gonna create a new one, and we're gonna say badge swipe solid gray. And this is going to be very basic. It's just going to be like point 0.44. And we're going to apply that to that side. And we're going to apply it to the other side. And we're going to apply it to the bottom. And there you go. So for the solid gray, we're going to add roughly 0.5 with a bunch more roughness because you really won't be able to see anything shining off of that. No clear coat roughness, and that's it. And so the only problem that I have with this is that this is a bit too bright. I don't know why it's so bright. Can I make this artificially darker or brighter? I thought I could. I thought I could. Maybe if I increase the emission. No, I'm not. I don't want it to emit stuff. Oh, no, 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 no. This is too bright. I want to make it darker. Can I darken the texture? I can. Let's reduce it by like 30%. It's not perfect, but it's better than absolutely nothing. And you do actually see a logo. So this is where bending the polygon a bit more is going to help. But there we go. That's it. Let's go ahead, go back to layout, and now we're going to go ahead and save this. And I will select everything. We're going to save this as revision 3, and we're going to go ahead and render it and put it in the sim. Okay, so revision 3, there you go. We're going to export this into the sim. We're going to put it in, and we're going to show you how I'm going to place it right now. We'll definitely apply modifiers. We'll export all the selected objects, which I just selected. put the textures for it in the textures folder, which is only one, so that's fine. And I'm going to go back to batch swipe because I'm going to need to copy this over eventually, or not care, just copy it all over in one shot. And I first need to build it, of course. So we're going to export the settings. We're going to call this KPYM badge swipe XML. We're going to generate a GUID, and I think that should be everything. There we go. Bam. So we should have this exported. The GLTF file should be in place, and there is a 3D object. That's great. Now we can copy this into the export folder where all the sources exist. It's going to generate some errors. That's fine. I kind of don't care. I know what to do. We can get rid of the Blender files. One, two, three, four. We'll sort this by type to move the texture out of the way. We'll get rid of one last Blender file. And now we have the PNG file that we can remove, bin XML, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in texture. And then we can do a render, put it in the scenery, and move on, which is so cool. Okay, so we have everything in place. It's going to complain, but we should be fine. All right, so we're back in the sim, and we're going to do a build. We're going to save and do a build. We're going to get a bunch of errors. That's fine. What I need to make sure is that the errors do not come back after I clear the queue. And it shouldn't take me more than a minute or so to actually put the thing down. 19 errors, that's fine. Get rid of them. And then I'm going to rebuild a second time. If I see 0, we're good. I still see 14. I wonder why it's complaining. Failed to access closing element compilation errors detected. Did I fail to test this? I know I did, but what's wrong with it? Well, I can see the object in my 3D viewer in Windows, so it's not like there's an issue with it showing up. But it's saying failed to finalize model data. That's usually because there's a problem that it couldn't, what am I trying to say? Either the texture wasn't exactly a 1K texture, which mine is, or there's something else that it's complaining about. And I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Why would you complain, though? We have textures assigned for stuff. Why are you complaining? Is it because we have clear coat roughness? Because I'll try that again. I don't think that's why, but I'm gonna try one more time. We'll export again, and if it doesn't work, I'll probably look into it after the stream, sometime tonight or this week. So that dumps it to my home folder, and I should be able to just take the GLTF file, which I've changed just now, and take the XML file as well. Bin file too, that's fine. And then we'll dump them into the folder where everything exists in the sim. And where is it? Batch swipe. Should be batch swipe. There we go. We're going to replace the files, and then we're going to try to rebuild again. And again, if it doesn't work this time, that's fine. We'll just move on. So one last shot. Okay, so there's still 14 errors after I cleared it, and it's due to the badge swipe. I'm not saving it as something else. I'll just take a look at the file real quick, the XML file. No, doesn't look weird. Okay, there's something going on with the render that I don't have time to look at today, so I'm probably going to take a look at this a little bit later tonight. But in the meantime, we have at least the updated call box. The old swipe thing was right next to it. This is the one with the updated textures. And of course, we have a lot of ongoing work to finish at KPYM, including adding or replacing a lot of the standard buildings that are left. Folks, for now, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I am running behind, but I appreciate having you guys on board so much. Thank you for being here. And let's go ahead and see who we can say hello to really quickly. Let's set up a raid. Right now, we have Iron Condor that's flying. And who else can I say hi to? Let me see. Let me see. Oh, of course. We're gonna go raid our friend Eric Flight. So stick around, folks. If you like GA flying, you're gonna like Eric Flight. If you like Flight Sim 2020, I hope you like it too. All right, here we go. Have a great day, folks. And like I always like to say at the end of my streams, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. Take care, friends. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time.